And then they try to say that I never protected him, and I did. I did all I could do.
On the day that you were taken by Ariel Castro, you were walking to an appointment with social services. Okay, Michelle, we're at the dollar store on Clark Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened here?
This is where I was abducted from.
And you live about how far from here, your house at the time?
Right down a block.
And you had walked from there, and you were going to check on the custody issue with your son, right?
Yes.
You got lost.
I proceeded to walk through this door.
Okay.
And
you went inside here.
yeah.
And is that where you were overheard?
Yes.
So we now know that he overheard you asking for direction.
Yeah. And then the guy that was right beside me, he was like, well, I know where that's at. And I knew him because of Emily, which is his daughter. So I got in the car and I told him where I was going. And he said, okay, well, I gotta drop off at the house to make sure the puppies are okay. So I was like, all right, I'll sit in the car, you check them, because I didn't want to go in the house.
We are on Seymour Avenue.
Yes.
And this is where this horrific event took place, this 11 years of hell for you. Did he pull up in the driveway?
Mm-hmm. And he closed the gate and he went in the back and he went to the back door of his house.
And you were still in the car?
Yeah, and then he comes out and he tells me, well, just come in for a little while. The puppies are upstairs. You could take one home to your son. So I said, okay.
How did you go in?
Into the back door.
So no one ever could see you going in the front door?
No. But I did poke my head out and I saw a bunch of people that lived in a previous house next to him.
Okay.
And I waved hi to them.
Did they wave back?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I looked around in the house and I didn't hear any whining, so I started to get a little nervous. Then he was like, well, the puppies are upstairs. And I was like, I'm not going upstairs with you. He was like, well, if you want the puppy, you will come up. I finally gave in. I was like, okay, I'll go upstairs with you. And then I seen Emily's picture. I was like, ah, that's Emily. And I was like, is she here? And he was like, yeah, she's here. She's just right downstairs. So I was like, okay. So we go in there, we look for the puppies. The puppies are not there. So he trapped me in a room.
And how did he trap you at that moment?
He already had it set up to where he could tie me to the, I think it's like a clothesline type of thing.
And did he tie you to this?
Yes.
Did you have any idea when you walked through that door that it would be 11 years before you would walk back out it?
No.
Could you have ever dreamed or imagined as you stepped through that door that you would not breathe that air again for 11 years?
No.
So he gets you in this room. What did he tie you up with?
One of those orange extension cords. I was tied up like a fish, an ornament on the wall. That's the only way I can describe it. I was hanging like this, my feet, and I was tied by my neck and my arms with the extension cord going like that.
Oh my God. So he tied your hands and feet and also around your neck and hung you from this rod?
Yes.
Did you fight him at the time?
At the time, no, because I was shocked.
You panicked, just froze?
Yeah, and the only thing I can do is cry, begging him, let me go back to my son.
What did you say to him?
I said, please don't do this to me. And he said again, you can't take me back. And then he threw money at me.
What was the significance of him throwing money at you?
He was obsessed with prostitution.